not too humid, no rain, just a perfect day to practice. Very solid Tuesday. Just really liked the way the kids came out and worked today. Thought competed really well all throughout practice. We talked about, before practice today and also after practice today, you hear all these people talk about the process. Your Coach Saban talk about it a lot. I've talked about it. What's the process? The process is going out each day and giving just incredible effort, pushing yourself to be the best, focused, working to compete, doing that every single day. Then, doing the things you got to do nutritionally, taking care of your body, getting a good night's sleep, then come back the next day and do it again, and then do it again, and do it again, and do it again. And the guys that can stack positive days on top of positive days and really focused on taking care of their body and developing themselves, those are the guys that you see developing throughout the process. And I thought today was a great example. Now we got to come back tomorrow and stack another positive day on top of it. So were there mistakes? Absolutely. There's tons of mistakes each and every day, but effort, attitude was very solid. And that if you get that every day, you're going to improve.
Okay, we'll open up the questions for Coach Houston.
Coach, is a little different question a little bit, but kind of going on depth, and I'm wondering with contact tracing specifically, is there any guys on the roster you're experimenting with at all, like playing not both ways, but playing a different position or learning a different position? Are there any guys like that, or are you messing around with any of that type of stuff right now?
Quite a bit. For example, on the offensive line, most of those guys are playing at least two positions. A couple of them can play all five. And so certainly anywhere we can double train someone, we're doing that because you're right. You got to create – this is the year you got to create depth. You have what you have. It's not like we have a waiver wire or something like that. We can pick up a free agent in the middle of the season. You have what you have. And so, you're going to see some guys out there on the field playing this year that maybe normally, they would play less, be redshirted, whatever. This is going to be one of those years where a lot of guys got to be ready to play.
Coach, from a pass rushing perspective, obviously losing Kendall Futrell, I know it hurts, but have you seen any guys step up in that regard early in preseason?
Well, I think that through Coach Harrell's scheme, you're going to create pass rushers from all over the place. It's one thing Coach Kirkpatrick has commented on is, he's seen everything he's probably going to see all year already in preseason camp. So, Rick DeBrayu, I think, is having a very solid camp, and he's a guy that, he's pretty quick twitch, pretty athletic. And so that's a guy that's, stood out, to a degree there. I think some of the young kids, Jason Romero, Kareem Stinson, very athletic, really good speed off the edge. And then, some of your second level guys, the backers and stuff like that, you're going to see some of those guys involved in the pass rush pretty regularly.
From a conditioning standpoint at this point through camp, Coach, where do you guys feel like you are? I know it's not where you want to be, but do you feel like you're getting there at least?
We're getting there. I do think the guys are pushing themselves and practicing themselves into shape. But, we're a whole lot better off right now than we were a couple of weeks ago. And, the ones that miss some time, no matter what the reason, whether it's medically or if, they're quarantined or something like that, those are the guys that you see that struggle a little bit when they come back. And that shows you really where the rest of them are. But, we're getting there. You can't replace 4 months with Big John and the staff, but we're in much better shape right now than we were.
Coach, as far as COVID-19, with UNC having to go to online classes, you got to be proud of your guys where things have been pretty well so far with the team. I know condition-wise and also with having this new wrinkle of dealing with COVID-19 for the 2020 season.
They are. I think they've handled everything very well. It's one of those things where this whole thing is, precautions, taking care of each other, taking care of yourself. But there's also, in my opinion, a little bit of luck involved too. It's you got to try to mitigate the risk factors as much as you can. And our kids have done a good job with that. It's just got to, hopefully it continues.
You discussed earlier when it first kind of started in July, having a little bit of an issue. What do you think the players learned from just seeing how that does work when it's happening?
Well, I think, they learned this thing's pretty serious. It's real. It's one of those things, just like anything else. You don't believe it's real serious until it happens to you. And then, when we start having those problems that we had back in July, I do think it woke everybody up. I think pausing the workouts for a week back in July really kind of rattled everybody. Hey, we got to get our stuff together. And I think they've done a much better job since then. So I think it also shows just they want to play. So they're doing the things they got to do in order to give themselves that opportunity.
Coach, you've expressed that you've made some progress offensively. What are some of your focuses of concern at this point?
Well, I feel good about our personnel. There's one or two spots where I'm a little worried about the depth. The biggest thing is just getting everybody on the same page. We've had a couple of guys out. We got everybody back. Just getting them, gelling together and meshing together is the biggest concern right now on that side. Certainly, the playmakers, they showed up last Friday. I'd like to see them show up again this Friday, the consistency factor. I think that's another important factor.
On defense with Coach Harrell, have you had any conversations lately, or do you have a sense of where he's at on a comfort level, even compared to the spring or the start of camp? Where's your sense with him at this point?
Well, I think, one, the kids are having a lot of fun. I think he's done a great job re-energizing that group. They play with a lot of emotion. They play really, really hard. You can see the confidence that they're gaining daily. So I think, with each day that goes by, he and the kids are feeling more and more comfortable. It's still, you're 15 practices into a brand new system. So there's still a long ways to go. But every single day, you see improvement there with that.
This is our first time talking to you since Friday in the scrimmage. So when you reviewed the tape, did anything extra jump out to you from scrimmage 1 to scrimmage 2?
I think just how, in scrimmage 1, we talked about, the offense really didn't give itself a chance between turnovers, penalties, and, protections, just didn't give themselves a chance. I thought that last Friday, virtually no turnovers, 1 late in the scrimmage, only giving up 1 sack. They eliminated the negative plays that hurt them. Third down, really stood out where we made some critical plays on third down to keep drives going. But then defensively, you look at it and how close the defensive guys were to, making the play or getting a stop. It was such a competitive scrimmage, and you come out of it feeling, well, you know what? You didn't play as bad defensively as just, the offense made some critical plays, which I'm glad to see that. Coming back this Friday, it's a pretty little rivalry going between Donnie and Blake around the office. So, they're having fun with it. The kids I've let it kind of go a little bit more than usual this year as far as letting them kind of go at each other, jawing, creating that rivalry, because I think you got to have that right now with where we are with everything going on. You got to have that to keep the energy up at practice. So, that's what I want to see. I want to see, both sides play at a high level this week.
Coach, do you do like the steak dinners for? I know you do that during the year. Do you do that for the scrimmages for who wins and who loses?
We haven't been. I think they eat pretty good now. It's not like they're starving. The training table meal is better than anything I had in college. But now the biggest thing with them is they got to listen to the other side. You got to listen to them squawk for an entire week. I mean that's worse than anything else. So they've really had a lot of fun. I tell you, this is an enjoyable bunch to coach. And I've really enjoyed this preseason camp. And, I look forward to playing games. But this has been a really enjoyable restart after the quarantine.
Just following up real quick on the question I had earlier about positions and different things. Is there – skill player-wise, is there anything crazy? C.J. Johnson could play safety, or is there – have you thought any of that type of stuff, or you just kind of hope that you don't end up in that situation?
Yeah, I don't know about that one right there. I know everybody out there is fighting over Jeremy Lewis. Coach Harrell's trying to recruit him every single day over the defensive side, but I don't think Coach Mines is going to let go of him anytime soon. You know, we don't really have anything like that going on. We do have a lot of the Sams. You might have a guy that plays field safety, buck, and Sam. They're running all three positions to create that depth there. The receivers, Blake, for the most part, can play any of the slot or outside receiver spots. Really Audie can also. So there's a lot of learning another spot that's similar to yours that's going on. To develop that stuff. Now Tajee Hudson, he could probably play any stand-up position on either side of the football. He's just got to learn it.
Coach, it was announced this afternoon that Marshall and Eastern Kentucky will play on September 5th at Edwards Stadium, up in Huntington. So just talk about that. And it is at this point, is that a ship that's sailed as far as us potentially adding an SCS game that weekend?
I don't know. That one's above my pay grade. So I've petitioned for what I wanted, but there's so many factors to consider with that stuff. You have a lot of factors with the state of North Carolina, and we're trying to figure out those, just what game day is going to look at. I know that the administration met on that today. I was in there for just a few minutes and just, I kind of get a grasp of what they're looking at there. If we could find the right situation, I would be in favor of it, but there's just so many factors, that go into, can you schedule a game on September 5th? I do think it's, good and bad. We'll get to see Marshall the week before they play us. So, you'll at least get a good look at them. But they'll also get a live game reps before they play us. So it is what it is. Control what you can control.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about what your schedule is going to look like the rest of the week practice-wise?
We'll be shells tomorrow, similar practice to today. We're going to try to go real light on Thursday, just try to sharpen some stuff up, have another inter-squad scrimmage on Friday. Saturday's an off day from football. Big John will have him in the weight room Saturday morning, and then they'll get treatment rehab, and that's it for Saturday. And then Sunday's a typical Sunday. I really want a real good look at everybody this Friday, and then we've got to start, we started a little bit today, kind of developing depth charts, getting the right guys working on special teams. So, after this week, then it becomes, get everybody healthy, get the young kids enough reps so they're ready to play, and then start getting ready for Marshall.